In an extremely surprising move, guess what Suella Braverman has done today? Yes, she's already started to implement her new illegal migration ban before the legislation has even been finalized in Parliament. It's absolutely fascinating. So last night we had the first vote for the second reading of the bill, the illegal migration ban bill, and Suella won the vote. That's still going to go through the process and to get the royal assent, but she's already started to implement it. So in this video, we're going to talk to you guys about what's going on exactly in Westminster, because the leftists are all freaking out, as usual. The mainstream media are confused. They don't know how to react to this. Basically, the last week or so, the last couple of weeks, when they first announced the effort to bring in yet another legislation to change the law, and we're all basically saying the same thing. All of us on this channel, we said, cool, we've heard this before. I'll believe it when I see it. And then they even announced the bill and the details. We said, okay, cool, sounds good. Some issues with it because we're still linked to ECHR. All right, good luck with that. But I'll believe it when I see it. And then last night they had the actual vote for the second reading of the legislation, the bill, and that was passed, obviously, because the Tories have a majority. And now, today, the Home Secretary, Suella, has already announced that they're going to start implementing it. They've already started implementing it now, as of today. Because obviously, the process is, if you come into the country now, because of this new bill, especially when it's finalized, you will be detained, you will be arrested, you'll be kept for about, well, maximum 28 days, then you'll be kicked out. So she knows that she's going to win this vote overall. So by the time that the legislation is completely in place, it's going to be the perfect timing for anybody who comes into the country as of today, Tuesday, the 14th of March, that by that time, she could just easily kick him out. Obviously, we have to wait to see how it goes. But so far, they've already started to implement it, and they've already been detaining anybody who came in earlier today in Kent. So Suella basically said that anybody entering this country illegally will now be detained and swiftly removed. No ifs, no buts. The law-abiding patriotic majority have said enough is enough. This cannot and will not continue. Now, we've heard this last few days, and it's great rhetoric. We like it. This is robots. But we've heard it before in the past, technically speaking, from people like Priti Patel. Nothing was actually done. Priti Patel used to announce certain bills and efforts to change the law, and sometimes it didn't really even get to that point. But some of them was passed, but nothing was actually done. Seems like, again, without getting too overexcited, seems like it's already started. It's already begun when it comes to Suella's illegal migration bill. Again, we'll have to wait because they're going to be detained for 28 days as of today, anybody from today. So 28 days from now, 29 days, we're going to do a review. We're going to double check to see what's going to happen to those who have entered the country today, 14th of March. If she could get rid of them, then that's absolutely brilliant. Now, the Shadow Home Secretary, Yvette Cooper, is not very happy about this current situation. She's currently described the Britain's asylum system as deeply damaging chaos. Okay, cool. She says there's no point in ministers trying to blame anybody else for it. They have been in power for 13 years. Asylum system is broken and they broke it. Well, I agree, Yvette. They have been in power for 13 years and it is their fault as well. But let's not lie to the public, Yvette Cooper. It's the fault of both of you. Both Labour governments and Tory governments, all of them, all successive governments. You guys broke the system initially, especially in the 2000s and going forward. So don't just say, obviously the Tories have to take responsibility because they did not really continue to fix it until now, apparently, because the elections are coming up. So of course the Tory party now think that they have to get their act together. Interesting timing. But I don't care. As long as they do it, I don't care why they do it. Just get it done. The country is in chaos and it's going to continue to get worse. And we also have to have some sort of element of deportations going forward for those who are already here, who've already come here over the last few years. They must also be removed. And apparently that's also on the table. And that's the next stage. But again, I'll believe it when I see it. So far, so good. So far, it's promising to be pretty effective if they manage to obviously keep these people in for 28 days. And obviously, in the meantime, you're going to have all the left-wing lawyers and activist lawyers doing their own process. You're going to have ECHR judges taking all these cases individually. But I guess if they create a massive workload for all these judges and lawyers, you're going to have hundreds of people coming in within the next few days, next couple of weeks. Then it's probably going to be quite hard for these judges and lawyers to focus on each individual case. So maybe that's also the trick. I don't really know exactly what's going on behind the scenes, but so far, so good. So well done, Suella Braverman. I'm going to still keep my eye on this issue because, again, we have to make sure it actually happens. We don't want to get too excited like a little kid. But for now, the Labour Party are freaking out. The mainstream media are confused. So I'm pretty happy about that. Let me know your thoughts on Mahyar, Tousi, and we are the media.